Welcome to Oriam Unlocked, the podcast that brings you an insight into the lives of student athletes, elite performers, and the people shaping the future of sport in Scotland. Brought to you from Scotland's Sports Performance Centre, we go beyond the stats and schedules to uncover the mindset, the motivation, and the moment that define the journey. This is Oriam Unlocked. Let's step inside. Hello and welcome to Oriam Unlocked, the podcast brought to you from Scotland's Sports Performance Centre. I'm delighted today to be joined by two of our Heriot Watt scholars, two Edinburgh Rugby players, two members of the national squad, Emily Love and Molly Poolman. Girls, thanks very much for joining us today. How are we?
Thank you for having us, yeah.
No problem at all. Are we looking forward to this? A little bit
apprehensive,
a little bit nervous?
Maybe Emily, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
The smile's saying something.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, we'll get into the flow of things. We'll start things off. First of all, I think we'll start off talking about your journeys at Heriot Watt. You're both sports scholars here. Before we move on to sort of the rugby side of things, what was the programme here at Heriot Watt been like for you guys? Obviously, you're at different stages of your scholars. How have it been so far?
I suppose for me, I came to Heriot Watt as the first ever new cohort of sports science, so it's quite new. So we're kind of seen as the guinea pigs, but in a way that's quite exciting. We've got to develop the program, and it's quite fun seeing Emily, who's now in second year, and there's a girl Lottie in third year in the rugby. How it's evoluted the program. So yeah, it's been really cool to be a part of, and then obviously having sports scholar on the site as well has been really helpful for academic flexibility and stuff.
Brilliant. What about you, Emma? Have you enjoyed it so far? Obviously you're in your second year. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been good. I definitely took more advantage of the sports scholar flexibility this year, because I had quite a busy November last year. It's been great. Yeah.
Brilliant. How have you guys managed to find balance in studies alongside rugby as well? International with the club. You mentioned you use a bit of flexibility there that's offered, but it's there to be used. Yeah. But how have you found that balance? Has it been quite tough, or have you managed to sort of cope with it so far?
I think we'd be lying if we said it was plain sailing.
Yeah.
It's definitely not easy. It's maybe not the luxury lifestyle that everybody thinks that being a rugby player is. But at the end of the day, we want to have something. We want to have a degree at the end of it, whether if our rugby progresses and we don't need to have a job, that's would be the dream. But in maybe the world right now that we want to have, rugby's a lot like a short career, so having that degree at the end of it's really important for us. So we have to kind of balance it, and at times it is a bit of a slog, and maybe you're waking up, you're going to uni, and then you're straight to rugby, and there's no time to I suppose be a person. You're kind of like a robot, especially in December time and then March and April for this semester. But I think having that end goal of having a degree at the end of it really pushes you through it. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think it's nice that everyone's sort of in the same boat as well. Especially at Edinburgh, we're quite a young team. So there's a lot of girls that are studying as well. So yeah, it's quite nice to come into training sometimes and know that you're not the only one that's been slugging away all day.
Yeah. Was that something you guys both felt as you were going through the ranks in the sort of younger years? Did you have a goal in mind of sort of getting a degree alongside playing rugby, or was it full set on rugby and whatever comes alongside it happens as well?
I think for me, I don't really know. The degree was kind of going to always be a side piece for me. Rugby has kind of been a passion since I was really young. And before that, I did karate as well. So sport has always been in my life. So I knew if I was going to do a degree, it was going to be something towards that. At first, I was kind of looking at physiotherapy. Now I'm not. I'm sports science, and I'm loving it. I think I always knew that I was going to have a degree at the side of it. I just didn't know what it was, but I knew it was going to be sport related. So sports and exercise science. I mean, some of the courses we do, I'm sat in class, I'm yep, I've done that personally, yep. So that's quite nice to have that.
Beneficial to sort of live the experience. And do you feel the same, Emily, when you were coming through? Did you have a thought towards a degree, or was it just rugby as you were growing up?
I think, definitely similar to Molly. I played hockey as well, so it was always sport. But I knew that I would also have to have a degree as well, because sport's so unpredictable as well. So yes, you definitely need to have something else there. So yeah.
If you're looking to some of the younger players, you mentioned the Edinburgh squad right now is quite young, and you're all in a sort of similar boat. I'll start off with you, Emily. would you give advice to anyone who was maybe a few years younger who was looking to progress? Would you advise them to maybe look into sort of a scholarship programme and getting a degree alongside? Is that something that you would think would be beneficial?
Yeah, definitely. Particularly doing sports science as well. Like, it's so helpful because I feel like we're actually sort of living through the theory that we're being taught. I think definitely would try and get a scholarship if you do want to go as far as you can in sport, because it is difficult, but it's worth it. So
brilliant. We'll talk about the facilities around the place. Obviously, you guys train in such high class performance places, and Oriam being one of them. How important is it to sort of have everything in one place, especially when you're on sort of the national team squad here based at Oriam? Having the pitches, the gym, the rehab, how important is that for your sort of recovery and development in one place?
I think it's great, like, you're not having to like worry about, transferring for us studying and to then going in a car journey that, Edinburgh traffic's not great. Like, it could be 5-minute drive, but actually it's going to take 35 minutes. So having that stress taken off us is really handy. Also, like, especially when we're in camp, the time you have together as a squad is quite limited. So having everything in that one place, potentially the max you've got is from here to the hotel, which if you're taking a nice leisurely stroll, it's 10 minutes. So not that I've counted or anything, but having that and having that easy access is fantastic. And I mean, the facilities that we have at Oriam, having everything is so good. So I think we're lucky that we get to use it whenever we want, because the central program's also moved here as well. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's great here.
Brilliant. And loads of positives sort of being in and around the area with people as well, people that you're working alongside and involved with. It moves us on nicely actually to talking about the national team setup. We are filming this podcast just ahead of the Women's Six Nations coming up, and you guys were in camp in January with the brand new coach Sione. How was that camp? There was 50 players selected for that camp, everyone sort of brought together in one place. What was that camp like? Can you talk us through what the week was, what it sort of consisted of, and what it was like to be around the camp with so many players?
Yeah, I think so. Monday and Tuesday were sort of the heavier days. Everyone came in on Monday and it was all quite new. Everyone was new, new coaching staff as well, which was pretty exciting. I think everyone was just quite excited to get going and just start playing. So we had a good session on Monday. It was quite tough as well. I think Sione definitely put us through our paces, but that was also quite good. I don't know if you want to say.
No, I just think it was a great opportunity as someone who's been in the squad previously. Obviously a lot of change, a lot of new faces, and new faces I treat like all the time, but it was really lovely having them in. It's a new 4-year cycle, the World Cup, that's how we kind of look at it in rugby. So to have all those new faces, new coaching staff, it's just really exciting to have this new platform, and the Six Nations is going to be a testament to that. I think it's going to be exciting rugby all around, to be honest.
Do you feel like there was quite a buzz with so many players pulled together, obviously a new coaching staff, as you say? Was there quite a buzz around the building? Was it everyone a bit unsure of how things were going to go? Was that quite a good thing in a way, where you're it was maybe a bit unpredictable?
I think there was obviously the excitement of the girls have a lot of them play down south, so seeing them and stuff, it's always going to be exciting to see them. It's been a long time not seeing them, but I think it would be a bit wrong to say there wasn't nerves there. Like, you all have a bit of nerves, it's all a bit of uncertainty, a lot of change has happened, but I think the Scotland girls, and I don't know if you as a new player came in, but I think we, no matter what, we all were quite a close-knit group, and that is, I say close-knit group, there's like 50, 60 of us, but no matter what, we're there for each other, and exciting times ahead.
As a new player, Emily, coming into the squad, is it what you expected? Is there any expectation? Obviously it's quite a drastic change coming into a squad with professional players. Did you have any expectations, and did they meet them, if so?
Definitely. I think I sort of walked into the changing room and was like, oh my gosh. But no, I think it settled down quite quickly as well, because like Molly said, there was a lot of new girls there, so and everyone sort of made an effort to mingle and stuff, which was quite good as well. And it didn't feel like, there was 50 odd girls there. which is nice as well.
Don't want to be too intimidating coming into a big squad for the first time, being all over. We'll look ahead to the Six Nations, obviously one of the biggest events in the calendar for rugby, for Scotland as a country as well, men's and women's. It's such a big event and we all care about it so much. Our first game, we're visiting Wales on the 11th of April. What's exciting you the most about this competition? Maybe sort of personally and then part of a squad as well. Is there anything that you're looking forward to the most for this upcoming competition?
I suppose just to I know how I've said it's like a new 4-year cycle, but kind of build upon what we did. Like in the World Cup there, we reached the quarter-final, which was the first time in 22 years, so that's way before I was born. Like stuff like that, like building on that, and obviously having this new platform with new coaches and stuff. I think that's really exciting, a new way of rugby, a new just limelight on it. And I think as well for Scotland, like this year, we're playing in some big stadiums, like the Principality. We're having Murrayfield, we're playing England, and we've just broke records that was posted the other day. And then, finished the competition in Ireland, which is always a close game anyway, but in the Aviva, like what an occasion to go for. So I think, just what an opportunity to just go out there and play some fun rugby and build on what we've already done with new players coming in.
Does that feel quite exciting, Emily? Obviously it's your first time within the national squad. Is it quite exciting, looking forward to, as you mentioned, big stadiums, big events and loads of people watching as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be unreal, obviously, depending on selection, but definitely something to look forward to. And I feel like it's happened quite quickly. Definitely very exciting.
Brilliant. How do you guys personally prepare? Obviously, club rugby and international rugby are a little bit different, but mentally and physically from that sort of the steps between the club and international rugby, is there anything that you do differently? Obviously in camp it'll be different coaches, different training and things, but personally, do you guys do anything different as you sort of prepare to go into those different camps?
I don't know, I feel like I just try to keep a routine. Usually my routine before a game just stays the same, whether it's club or for Edinburgh, because I think that helps me, because I do get quite nervous, so just keeping doing the same thing before every game definitely helps.
Settles you down, sort of having that same routine. Brilliant. What about you, Molly? You sort of have a different mentality towards it, or?
I don't know. I think for me, my main thing is having my people around me. So whether that's going to be my mum and my dad and maybe my brothers. Maybe. They don't speak a lot to me, but if they say something, you should take it on the chin. But having them around me, and so obviously if we're playing for Edinburgh, it's maybe a bit easier to have them there, with it being either in Scotland, Ireland or Wales. But when it is maybe a bit further, like we were playing in Italy last year and stuff, it's maybe a FaceTime. But I think that's something important to me, is to have them. There's no better chat than having a chat with your dad in the morning of the game, even though maybe he says some things about rugby that you're like, come on, you're not playing. But just having my people around me, and I think that's just the most important for me to kind of stay sane and be ready to play the game ahead.
You mentioned that it's quite tight. There's a lot of close games in and around the Six Nations. Is there something that you think separates a team from playing in the Six Nations and contending for that title? Is there differences that you think would push that squad towards the win?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you want me to go? I'd say the grit, the fight, the heart and the passion. That was a lot of big words. It's all be all and end well, going out and playing rugby and just playing rugby for the sake of it. But in especially Six Nations and all these tournaments, you're there to represent your club and or your nation, which is even better. So having that fight, no matter what, results can go either way. At the end of the day, a game is 80 minutes, and it's who turns up on that day. So results could go either way. You can either win, you either lose. You could lose narrowly, or you could get absolutely pumped, or you're winning, or whatever. So I think no matter what, you come in, you reset, and you look at what you've done in the past, and then you reflect and you review the next week. And I think the team that wants it most will turn up on the day. So that's where that fight and passion comes in. And I don't think there's anyone that really takes that passion as much as we do. We're all very, very passionate and would do anything for the Thistle. So I think, that's what would drive teams over the line.
It's quite a nation-led feeling, that, isn't it? It's quite a lot of pride in playing for Scotland. Obviously, I'm nowhere near that level at any stage, but like just being part of Scotland, it's kind of a nationwide thing, which is great. For fans who might be newer to the women's game, is there anything that they should be watching out for in this year's tournament? Anything that they should keep an eye on that will get them off their seat and get them excited for people who haven't maybe watched into the women's game before?
I think it is an exciting game, and it's definitely like getting more exciting as well. Like the bigger the fan base, like the past couple of games we've had at the Hive, the support there's been incredible, and like that when you're on the pitch, it's like it really does make a difference. So yeah, if you know people can get out to support it, it does make the difference, and I think it's just being being in the crowd and being part of that is also, like, I feel like you get quite a buzz off that as well.
Do you feel that on the pitch? I always wonder that. Obviously, things are happening in and around the game. You're so concentrated. Can you feel the crowd around you? Can you feel their sort of mood change? Can you hear things within it, or are you fully focused on the game?
I think it's a mix of both.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm going to use an example of Ireland last year. We won in the last minute. Like, it was crazy. So you had to lock in, trying to not hear the crowd because it was full. So everyone's going, Scotland, Scotland. You're like, oh, I don't want to mess this up. And then we scored. So after that, you kind of just let your ears open and you hear the roaring around. So yeah, it's a bit of selecting hearing, but we do hear the fans.
Yeah.
We just have to maybe tune out for a moment to be like, this is my job. This is what I've got to do next. So then the crowd can cheer for us.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, obviously it can be nerve-wracking hearing the crowd. Can you kind of feel them sucking you in as well? Is it a positive thing in different ways?
Yeah, sometimes I do forget that I'm playing. Because I've been so used to, from a young age, going especially to the women's games, being on the sideline and maybe only been the only voice in 100. So, I've been used to that. So I sometimes go, oh my God, wait, no, I'm on the pitch. Now I've got to do the job here. But no, the crowd support is always amazing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's developed recently as well? Do you think, obviously, as the game gets more popular, that the crowd are getting more passionate and you can feel it around the stadium as well?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Brilliant. Going on to your club careers now, we've spoke a little bit about Edinburgh Rugby. How important is playing for Edinburgh Rugby been for your development and getting into the professional environment before you start teaming up with the national squad and things? How has it been working within the club?
Do you want me to go?
I don't mind.
You can go.
Yeah. Well, I started last year, and I was actually playing as back three last year, and then got the opportunity to start playing as a scrum half at Edinburgh, and I think that was probably the best thing that could have happened, because I think that's led me to then have the opportunity to get into the Scotland camp in January, and yeah, I've been absolutely loving it, and I think I've definitely got the opportunity to work with some amazing coaches through that as well, through that transition. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful that change happened in Edinburgh. So
was it quite a quick step up for you? You mentioned it sort of happened quite fast. Did you feel the change happen quite quick and have to adapt quite quickly as well?
Yeah, I sort of Shanks asked me sort of at Christmas time if I wanted to try out scrum half, and I was like, sure, why not? And then ended up playing my first game as scrum half against Glasgow. So it was quite a quick turnaround, but I think that's probably for the best to just sort of get thrown in at the deep end and just work around that. Sort
of just have to deal with it rather than having to think about dealing with it. Yeah, it can sometimes be the best way. Moving on to yourself, Molly, how has Edinburgh Rugby helped you develop through the years as well?
So much. I've been quite fortunate. Edinburgh Rugby have now been around for 3 seasons, and I've been there for the 3 seasons. So, just the kind of growing up, I suppose, my adult rugby there, and learning. So the first year had people like Nash, who was internationally capped, and she was a loose head. So no better partnership than a loose head and a tight head. So just having, like, as Emily says, like coaches, but also players that have been experienced to push you on. And without Edinburgh and that stepping stone of playing against players that play internationally for Wales and Ireland as well, like, wouldn't have had the opportunity to kind of showcase what I can do on that platform, because it is that step up from our Premiership level in Scotland. So yeah, like, really grateful for the opportunities, because it's then led me to then progress into being a day trainer in the national squad, and then last year being within the national squad to then get on my first cap. So yeah, I owe a lot to having Edinburgh Rugby, and also it's great to support a club that play for a club that you've supported since you were really small. So
having it in the same area and being part of it, you feel like you're woven into it, don't you? So it makes a massive difference. Looking ahead to the upcoming Celtic Challenge Cup, what's our feelings and thoughts heading into this one? And do you feel like your previous experience within the sort of last year, 2 years for yourself, Molly, do you think that's very beneficial for this upcoming tournament as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, we're midway through right now, and maybe some frustrating results for us as a team, but I think for me personally, the experience I've had, like, I think where I was this time last year, you know, I hadn't had any caps. I'd been a day trainer. I'd also come back from a long-term injury that I had surgery for in my ankle, so a very different outcome this year. So I've come in with maybe a little bit more confidence, definitely more experience. Like, you can't say you've not got experience if you've been to a World Cup, like, as much as I'd love to hide behind it. But yeah, I think the experience and maybe a bit more knowledge, especially within tight head, like, that your main thing is to scrum, and I've definitely taken confidence in what I've learned from, like, the national team and all the other girls to really put that on my game in the Celtic Challenge this year.
Has that helped you as well, Emily? Also, you try your new position, you sort of going into the tougher games and playing around that. Has that helped you develop quite rapidly as well?
Yeah, definitely. And this year I've got opportunities to start as well, which has been really exciting. And yeah, like Molly said, actually playing against players that have played internationally and with is incredible,
invaluable. It just sort of it comes and takes you up to that next level, doesn't it? This might be a question probably a bit out of the blue for you guys. Maybe have to go to the back of your brains and think here. Is there any coaches, teammates, a moment that sort of stands out to you that sort of you look back in being the pivotal moment of your career so far? Is there anyone that stands out that is kind of giving you that push? We're going quite in depth for this.
Oh, I'm really gonna have to think here.
I know, yeah.
It could be going as far back as 10, 15 years ago, maybe the push into rugby, something along those lines. Anything that sort of stands out to you as being that moment?
I think
you go on.
Yeah,
go for it.
I got injured in 2022, and I was out for a year, and I think that really just solidified how much rugby actually means to me, because not being able to play for a year is quite a long time. And yeah, I definitely had an amazing support network to get me back into the game, from, well, mostly my family, definitely got me through that. And yeah,
it's a tough challenge when you love something and it's sort of taken away. Do you feel like that's actually pushed you to caring more and giving more back to the game then?
Yeah, in a way. I think it was I don't know, I think it was maybe meant to happen, if you know what I mean, because I was also doing like my higher exams as well at that time, so it gave me time to sort of focus on that, and then actually realised that no, this is definitely what I want to focus on. So
come back stronger.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Molly, that gives you a little bit of time to
thought
off something along that.
Almost like too much time. I'm like, I don't know people in my head. I was like, who's not going to hate me if I mention them? I think for me, like, I'm really passionate about where I've come from. So I grew up at a club called Howe Fife in Cooper, and like I am the only one in my family who has left there and no longer play there. Both my brothers played there, my dad played there, like the list goes on and on. So I do always go back to my first ever two coaches, Willie and Innes. It was in primary 7 with all the boys and their sons were playing. Just the nod they would give me whenever I was at training and playing, and and they'd be like, I am a bit competitive, and I think I probably am still now, but like in tackle drills, I don't want to go down. Like I don't want to go down. And he would, like, just the remarks of like, will you just go down just for him? And I was like, okay. Like, so like it made me feel like, oh my God, I'm so good that I just have to go down. Obviously don't think that, but so just then like them keep pushing me through. And then I remember our last tournament, they gave me this like, it's like a pink base layer, right? And I maybe wore it when I first went to like the women's team when I was like 12, but I went and trained with them at Howe Fife, and I still got it. Like it's still in my cupboard and in my wardrobe hung up because it's such a symbol of where I've come from, and I am really passionate, like Howe Fife for life, that's what I say. So I think, yeah, I've got great thanks to them for keeping me going, even though I couldn't play with the boys no more.
Yeah, brilliant memories that push you on to it. Yeah. Excellent. We'll move on to our final section here, a little bit lighter, not as in-depth, going back through the years. Yeah, I know. What's something that people don't really realise goes on in national camps? Obviously, we've just had that first camp that we mentioned there. Is there anything that happens behind the scenes that people would have no idea that goes on into preparation and training and drills and things?
Gosh. This is hard because we live it, so we just think it's normal.
It's not exciting to you, but is there anything, maybe even in terms of sort of the amount of time in video analysis or anything, is there anything that happens where it's just so in depth that for someone out with it, it'd be crazy to us?
I think, I don't know.
It's so normal to us.
Yeah.
We'll rephrase it then. We'll go into how about on a sort of daily basis, on that first camp, the second, third day, what is sort of a normal routine in terms of maybe your eating as well, and are these things planned with the national team? Are they looking at your food? Are they looking at your, obviously we mentioned the drills that you're looking at, the video analysis, is that all part of your daily, or do things sort of take place on some days and drop out the others? Is it ongoing?
Well, when we're in camp especially, we have a day sheet, so it's very minute by minute. You need to be here at this point, do this at this point situation. So yeah, I think we're quite fortunate, it's quite structured. We kind of know what we're doing, but then it does kind of end at the end of the work day. But for us, that it isn't over. We do go and we do analyse, and the little things in training that I think people maybe think, why are you looking at that? Like, why are you looking at that one pass that went wrong? And we're probably like, oh, we could have had hands up and stuff. So I think, yeah, maybe people don't realise the in-depth and realise that, you know, we may start at like 7:30 in the morning to do monitoring in the morning before we go to gym, to pitch. It still goes until we're probably about 8 o'clock at night to then go to make sure we get to bed early to then do it all over again.
See, that's exciting to us.
Yeah,
like, being like minute by minute, like is it really that structured to the point where it's just everything is to the button? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's
our
interesting.
calendars are full.
See, that's interesting to us as well, 100%. At the camp that just went by, who was the hardest trainer and who brought the best vibes as well?
That's a tough question because there's like 50 plus girls.
Yeah, you're gonna maybe upset somebody with the hardest trainer. And there might be more than one person for the vibes.
Yeah, well, we'll have one each, so we can maybe...
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. We'll start with you, Emily.
Yeah.
If you've got one in your head, we can move to Molly if not.
You have one in your head?
Hardest trainer.
Are you going to go back and I'll go forward? Okay. Is that easier for you? Or?
Yeah, I think...
That's fine for me.
Rachel Phillips was class.
Was there anything that stood out about her training that made you think that? Was it just 100% on absolutely everything?
Yeah, and yeah, she's just puts absolutely everything into what she does, and she's also one of the most lovely people you could ever meet as well. Yeah, I think
hardest trainer. It's hard because I think everybody emptied the tank and put everything into it. I'm going to say Leah Bartlett. She was making like breaks after breaks in training, and as a prop, that's maybe a bit more unheard of. So yeah.
I'm sure she got an intercept as well.
It was crazy. Yeah. My jaw was on the floor. But yeah, Leah Bartlett.
Just giving it fully, 100%. Yeah. Best vibes. Anyone that stands out is sort of keeping the energy going. Maybe for yourself as well, and like coming into the first national team squad. Is there anyone that stood out, maybe took you under their wing, or?
Vibes.
This might be one that upsets people if they think that they are the party and you guys
Everybody.
Everyone just a good vibe.
Yeah.
Brilliant, that's fine.
That was easy.
That was easy as that, the whole squad. This one's a little bit easier because you obviously mentioned your studies and what you're doing alongside it, but if you weren't playing rugby, what do you think you would be going towards instead? What would be your dream professional title if it wasn't rugby?
Gosh, I don't know, because I think I've done my course because I'm in rugby.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm trying to think what I would have wanted when I was younger. To be fair, when I was younger, I thought I was a class singer. Don't ask me to sing right now, but I thought I was a class singer. I thought I was going to be on the X Factor, so we'll go a professional singer and actor.
Okay.
That's
so
crazy.
If Scotland won the Six Nations, you have to come back on and sing a song.
No.
Okay.
I've grown up since then.
Yeah, it was a little childhood dream.
Yeah.
You know,
And I was really good in my own ear, but I don't think my parents thought that.
Didn't hear it. Okay, that's fine. Emily, anything that you think you'd be looking towards?
I don't know, I think I'd quite like to maybe just travel, get a van. Just travel, yeah.
Nice.
That sounds like a good life, actually. We'll end it with a looking ahead question. What would success look like to the pair of you in the next 6 months, 12 months? Obviously, we mentioned Six Nations, we're in the midst of the Celtic Challenge Cup. What would you guys class as a success for you personally over the next 12 months? We'll start with you, Molly.
To graduate. I'm in my last semester here, so graduation would be nice. And I think for me, trying to retain a place in the Scotland squad and get selected for them games, and then the whole cycle again. Edinburgh, just keep continuing and improving and being the best player I can be, I suppose.
Brilliant. Emily?
Yeah, I think just trying to make the Six Nations squad this year would be pretty unreal. So yeah, I think looking to try and get a spot there, and like Molly said, then again just back into the cycle of Celtic.
Yeah, all comes in quick stages, so we wish you the best of luck, and thank you very much for joining us on the Oriam Unlocked podcast. Thank you.